Think of an IP address as your exact physical home address, but for the digital world. Every single device connected to the internet, whether it's your smartphone, your smart fridge, or a massive Google server, is assigned a unique string of numbers. When you click on a video, your device basically writes a digital letter asking for the video data, puts its own IP address as the return address, and sends it to YouTube's IP address. Without this coordinate system, the digital mail trucks would have absolutely no idea where to deliver your data packages. Originally, we used IPv4, which gave us around 4 billion addresses, but because everybody suddenly bought multiple smart devices, we literally ran out of numbers. That is why we are now upgrading to IPv6, which has so many unique addresses that we could assign one to every single atom on the surface of the Earth. While IP addresses are great for computers, human brains are terrible at remembering long strings of random numbers. Imagine if you had to dial 142.250.190.46 just to check your Instagram feed. That would be a nightmare. This is exactly where DNS, or the Domain Name System, comes to the rescue. DNS acts like a massive global phone book. When you type youtube.com into your browser, your computer quickly asks the DNS server to look up that exact name. The DNS server flips through its digital pages, finds the corresponding IP address, and tells your browser exactly where to send the data packages. This entire lookup process happens in milliseconds behind the scenes, making sure you never actually have to memorize a single IP address in your entire life. Now that we know the address, we need a courier to actually deliver the message. HTTP, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is a standard delivery guy responsible for fetching websites and bringing them to your screen. But there is a massive catch. HTTP is like sending an open postcard through the mail. There is absolutely no envelope protecting your data. Any postal worker, sorting facility, or malicious hacker sitting on the same public Wi-Fi network can read exactly what is written on that postcard as it travels to its destination. Back in the early days of the internet, this was perfectly fine for reading simple news articles or checking weather updates. But if you try to send your credit card number or private passwords over a basic HTTP connection, you're practically shouting your secrets across a crowded room. Because sending open postcards was a terrible idea for privacy, we upgraded to HTTPS. The S simply stands for secure, and it transforms our basic courier into a heavily guarded armored truck. Before your data even leaves your device, HTTPS locks your message inside a virtually unbreakable cryptographic safe using a technology called TLS or SSL. Even if a cybercriminal successfully intercepts your digital packages mid-flight, all they will see is a scrambled, randomized mess of completely unreadable characters. They cannot see what you are buying, what your password is, or what messages you are sending. This encryption is the invisible shield that makes online banking, shopping, and private messaging possible today. If you look at the top of your browser and see a little padlock icon next to the website name, you know your packages are traveling securely. While HTTP is fantastic for loading lightweight text and images on web pages, it is not built for heavy lifting. When you need to move massive amounts of data, you use FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol. Think of FTP as hiring a heavy-duty cargo truck dedicated entirely to moving massive boxes. Web developers and server administrators use FTP behind the scenes to upload thousands of website files, high-resolution videos, and software updates directly to a server in bulk. It strips away all the fancy formatting required to display a web page and focuses purely on transferring raw files as fast and reliably as possible. So, while HTTP is your daily mail carrier delivering letters, FTP is the specialized logistics company you call when you need to relocate an entire digital warehouse. When it comes to sending and receiving electronic mail, we actually rely on two different specialized couriers working together. SMTP, or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is your outgoing delivery truck. When you hit send on an email, SMTP takes your digital letter, finds the correct route across the world, and drops it off at your recipient's email server. But your friend needs a way to actually read that letter. That is where IMAP comes in. IMAP is basically a highly synchronized personal mailbox. Instead of downloading the letter and permanently removing it from the server, IMAP just lets your device peek inside the mailbox to read it. This is the exact reason why you can read an email on your smartphone while on the bus, and then later see that exact same email sitting perfectly unread on your laptop at home. Traditional downloading relies on a single central post office. Millions of people ask one big server for a file, and if that server goes down or gets overloaded, nobody gets anything. P2P, or peer-to-peer, completely destroys this concept. Instead of a central post office, P2P is like a giant crowd of people exchanging puzzle pieces directly from hand to hand. When you download a torrent, a tracker connects you to hundreds of other regular users who already have parts of the file you want. You download tiny digital chunks from them while simultaneously uploading the chunks you already have to other people. It is an incredibly fast, highly resilient system because the more people want the file, the faster the delivery network becomes. Because there is no central server to shut down, this decentralized protocol famously became the unstoppable backbone of internet piracy. Finally, we reach the most secretive protocol on the internet. Normally, even with an armored HTTPS safe, your internet service provider and the websites you visit can still see the return address on your package. They know exactly who you are and where you are located. Tor, which stands for the Onion Router, was built to erase those footprints completely. Instead of taking a direct highway to the destination, Tor hands your locked package to a courier, who puts it inside another locked box and hands it to a randomly selected volunteer halfway across the world. This package bounces through multiple encrypted layers, peeling off one by one like an onion before randomly popping out at its final destination. No single computer in the chain knows both where the package originated and where it is ultimately going. This invisible, shape-shifting route is what powers the Darknet. It provides life-saving anonymity for journalists and whistleblowers living under oppressive regimes, but it also creates a completely untraceable underground marketplace for the criminal underworld.